Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Rumination. This week we are going to be talking about one of the more common trees here, not only in Michigan but throughout the country, and that is the silver maple tree. The silver maple tree has some very obvious positives and some downsides as well that I'll get into. And with them being the most common tree, it's a tree that we end up working on a lot, whether it's pruning or removals. So we'll kind of get into some of that as well. First off, some of the obvious positives of silver maple trees are the fast-growing nature of them. They're a fast-growing shade tree, which is what makes them quite popular to plant. Most people don't have the time to let a little baby oak grow up into a big shade tree. So if you're looking to plant something that you'd like to enjoy in your lifetime, often silver maple is a choice that people make. They're beautiful trees. In fact, probably my absolute favorite tree is a tree in our backyard, as you can see from these couple of pictures. And in fact, it's also this tree right here behind me. Just a beautiful, huge tree that gives our house lots of shade. Just a gorgeous tree that if it ever went away, it would be a sad day for me. Another good thing of silver maple trees is with them being large trees with sprawling limbs, they make a good habitat for many different creatures, which kind of leads into some of the downsides of silver maple trees. They tend to have spots of crevices and rot where creatures tend to live, and silver maple trees are a fairly weak tree. They have wood that's pretty soft, wood that's prone to break. And another downside of silver maple trees is the branch structure that they have. Quite often you'll see a silver maple tree with what you'd call 2 or 3 large trunks, or codominant leaders is what we call them, where they're the same size limbs growing out of the same spot. And what happens is, in between those 2 limbs is what we call included bark. And that included bark is not wood material that it's bonded and connected and holding the tree together, but it's a weak point, and it's where silver maple trees often fail. As water gets in there, as the tree grows taller and more weight and stress is put in on that point. You can see this tree here, it's got 3 trunks, they're all kind of coming out of the same spot, and it's a tree that's definitely prone to failure. So it's one that we'd want to keep a close eye on. And if you have any silver maple trees, take a look, see if there's spots where there's potential for them to fall apart potentially. And if it's something you're nervous about, feel free to let us know. We'd be happy to take a look at it and either confirm that it's something that should be dealt with, or at least ease your fears that it's not something to be concerned about. As far as working with and working on silver maple trees, I would classify them as probably one of the simpler, easier trees that we work on. And I say that because the wood is soft, which makes it easy to cut. Chips nice. It's not super hard on equipment. The weak wood is something that we have to take into consideration when we're dropping larger sections or large limbs, that we have to be careful that we either have ropes or other methods to hold on to the limbs or tree to make sure it goes in the direction it wants. It's not necessarily going to hold a notch as well as, for example, the river birch that we spoke about last time. Another thing, as far as removal goes, they often end up having some large logs and large stumps. Some of the largest stumps I've come across doing tree work have been silver maple stumps. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you've enjoyed this video or enjoyed the past videos, I'd love if you would be able to share them, like these videos, tell your friends about them. If you learned a little bit, I'd appreciate it. I look forward to many more. Thanks.